There we go. That's a lot better. Alrighty, people. Welcome back to another episode of Dom and Gonz Sports Talk. I'm Dom. That's Gonz. I did miss the last episode due to me being an underachiever. So I come back to make it up to everyone in convincing fashion. Lot to discuss in this one. We got to talk Ravens, Jags, all that post-game stuff. I said they were going to drop 27. They dropped 23. I was only 4 off. So I got to give myself a little kudos where kudos is due. But lot to discuss, lot to unpack, lot to break down. Gonz, how are you on this Thursday night?
Well, I'm going to change this channel to Gonz Sports Talk because Dom has been really kind of screwing us over a little bit with his insane schedule. No, I'm kidding.
It's not my fault, man.
It's good to have Dom back. Yes, it was weird talking by myself, but we still had fun. But yeah, we're both trying to work on being a little bit more consistent, and we'll do that. We'll do that in the future. But yeah, I'm doing fine. Lots of crazy stuff coming up this weekend. We are in week 15. Excited for the Ravens matchup on Christmas. Oh my gosh, that's going to be crazy. And glad they beat Jacksonville because, as I said in our last stream, this was a crucial game for the AFC playoff race and the standings and a confidence booster. So I'm good. I'm feeling good about our positioning right now as we approach the holiday season, or the holidays specifically. We are in the holiday season.
Agreed.
But yeah.
Agreed. I'm feeling a little bit confident about us. I feel like we came into Jacksonville, took care of business. Like I thought we would take care of business. Well, actually, no, I did not think we were going to take care of business in that fashion. I thought that Jacksonville would at least, get in the ring and decide to box with us a little bit. And they didn't. They did not. 23-7. And a not exactly, I thought it was going to be more of a nail biter. The Ravens love to keep our blood pressure pretty high, but not this time around. They offense was not, lighting up the scoreboard, but, they did just enough to win the game. Trevor Lawrence almost got 300 on us, though, 264 for one touchdown. With Lamar leading all rushers with 97 yards for our team, and Trevor Lawrence leading all rushes for the Jags. Not something you see every day. The quarterbacks dueling on the ground, not through the air, which is very interesting. I'm going to start with the offense on this one. Just a couple of key points in this game offensively. Isaiah Likely is really coming along. You got to give credit where credit is due with Isaiah Likely. He's just stepping in and just being that tight end one that we need, and boy, is he stepping in well. 5 catches for 70 yards, 1 touchdown. You really can't ask more from him than that. He had a stellar performance, and he's been having stellar performances since Andrews went down. This just speaks a lot to his skill, his abilities out there on the field. He's able to catch every pass almost. Like he was one of those passes, he was double coverage on their heads. Awesome. Like it's just the things that things we're not asking him to do that he's just doing. And you have to appreciate those things from him. So I'm loving what I'm seeing from him. Unfortunately though, we did lose a soldier out there on the field. Keaton Mitchell unfortunately went down in that game. Looks like he has was a knee thing Harbaugh described earlier this week. And he is going to miss the rest of the season with that injury, which is very unfortunate because, he was coming out the gate hot as soon as he stepped out there on the field. And it's just unfortunate because I love seeing him run. I know you love seeing him run out there. He was our speed, our elusiveness, everything. He was catching passes out the backfield. He was doing everything that we needed, and then he just goes down like that. His knee bent in a really, really horrible way, and I just – seeing him go down on there like that, it was
torn
ACL.
Unfortunate. He's out for the year, but yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible to see him go down like that. It was nice to see that he had some sort of spirits as he was leaving off the field, getting carted off. Wishing him a full recovery. I know he's going to be straight out the gate next year as well, so I'm looking forward to that. Other key points is really, Rashad Bateman's really coming to. He's getting a lot more catches out there. He had 3 for 39. But you can start to see his confidence get a little bit better with each catch. And I think, with him and Beckham out there together, I think they're really going to be a force to be reckoned with. Zay didn't get a lot of targets in that game, only one catch for 7 yards. But it's nice to see Bateman, get those catches because, in the beginning of the year, he wasn't like, I feel like he wasn't really seeing the ball come a lot his way. And we were questioning him and Lamar's, like, what's the word I'm looking for? We're looking for him and Lamar's syncrasy out there on the field. Like, we're looking for that chemistry out there on the field, and we didn't really see it. We questioned it before even we came into the game. We said, Bateman and Lamar have to start coming into those catches. Bateman has some good catches out there, so we really appreciate that. And not too much bad to say about the offense in this game. I just want to see a little more as time progresses. And then Linderbaum said it perfectly during a presser this week. They're not really where they want to be offensively yet. And I think that's a good sign because, we know what this team's capable of. We know they can do better. But, I think, they did enough to win. And, I don't have too much discrepancy on that. I think
in real quick because we got a lot to talk about, by the way, guys. Notice we didn't say this is a post-game stream. So we've got lots of things on the agenda down the road. So just real quick, wrapping up what happened on Sunday night. Offense, I thought, left a lot of points out on the board. A lot of drives stalled in the red zone. A lot of missed opportunities in the first half. And I feel like the only reason the Ravens were winning at halftime before that Isaiah Likely touchdown was because the Jags kept shooting themselves in the foot over and over and over again. Missed field goals. Trevor dropping the football. Which is uncharacteristic of that Jags team. Whenever they play us, they seem to get up and play really well. So we'll take it how we can get. But I think the offense can do a little bit more. They're going to need to do a little bit more against this 49ers team coming to town, or us going to their home on Monday, because kicking field goals in the red zone 2 times out of, 3 or 4? I can't remember, is not going to get it done against that offense. So we're going to need to get it going a little bit more. Because we can't expect Purdy to just drop the football like Trevor Lawrence did on that scramble. But yeah, I'm feeling good about the win. Defense did its thing for the most part. 7 points. You can't really complain about 7 points. And I know they missed 2 field goals, and that's all good. But yeah, defense, much better game than the Rams. Didn't get gashed too much in the runs, but ETN was hitting some early splash plays in the first half. So I hope that's not a sign to come, because once the Jags started trailing a little bit more, they started getting away from the run game, which helped us out a little. We need to get a little bit more consistent with stopping the run altogether, because coming out of the bye week, it's been a little bit lackadaisical at times, especially against Kyron Williams, and in the first quarter of that Jags game, because I don't even need to talk about who we have up next in the rushing department, Christian McCaffrey. So let's tighten that up just a little bit. But overall, good, solid team win. And I'm feeling good about it. Now, what I wanted to talk about was and to your point, Keaton Mitchell out for the season. Very, catastrophic loss in my opinion. I was very upset about this because there's nobody on the team that's as fast as him, I don't think. He looks like the fastest guy on the team, on the field. And losing that element of speed from your backfield is just, you can't replace it. It's irreplaceable. We have Gus Edwards, who's a power back, but he's not a speed back. Even though he can get fast, he can move a little bit, but that's not what he's known for. Up next, Justice Hill. He's got some decent wheels, but you can notice it. He's not nearly as fast as Keaton. And then our replacement now, called up from the practice squad and then signed to the roster, is Melvin Gordon. So we are lacking speed in that department, which is a little concerning. And Melvin Gordon likes to fumble at times, and that also concerns me. So you've got 2 backs now out of 3 that have had fumbling problems either this season or over their career. Justice Hill, exchanges with Lamar in the beginning of the year, dropping the football on the read options, can't happen. And then Melvin Gordon, who fumbled a ton on the Broncos and Chargers, you just can't have that. So backfield, I'm a little bit concerned about, which now finally brings me to your question, or to my question. And I know we've talked about bringing guys back like Justin Houston and stuff. And my quick answer to that is no, we don't need him. I think we've got plenty of guys that are doing better than him. Clowney, Owe, and more that I can't think off the top of my head right now. Matabike in the middle, I mean, that's fine. We don't need to bring him back. What about Mark Ingram? I heard a rumor about that. Or not really a rumor, but just somebody posed the question on Twitter, like, how would it feel to bring back Mark Ingram, who seemed to be open to the idea of returning to a team? I would love that, only because for the locker room. And, he's a back, and we do need running backs. Obviously, he's not Keaton Mitchell, but that kind of appetizes me a little bit, just because of his, leading role like he was in 2019. Remember that? What are your thoughts on that? Obviously, it's not likely, but if the Ravens were given a chance to bring back Mark Ingram for the playoffs or the end of the season, what do you think about that? How do you feel?
I mean, shoot, I would love it, only because I love it from a hype man perspective. Like, Mark was like, as much as he was good on the field, because let's not forget that 2021 season, let's not forget, was it 21 and 21 or 2019?
19.
One of those, but
19.
yeah, 19. Yeah, Ingram was a problem for a lot of those games. So let's not get it twisted how good he actually is and was. But I would solely like that pickup for a hype reason.
Yeah.
Like, Ingram was such a vocal teammate in the locker room, on the field, on the sideline, didn't really matter. He was vocal. And I feel as though, like, Roquan fits that role very, very well. But on top of Roquan, it would be nice to have somebody. I don't really know if we have anyone on the offense who would really do that. Like, I know how teams have been speaking on Lamar and how much he's taken into his leadership role, which is beautiful to see. But, like, to be able to see that from a vision standpoint, like, out on the field, visually seeing it, Ingram was that guy. Like, it was him. And, it would be great to have him out there just to, let's just go get a ring one time for the one time.
Yeah.
That would be perfect.
He's
but
so vocal, and I just feel like
is.
he would pump up everybody.
Exactly.
And he knows how it felt to lose in the first round. So I feel like he could also be the one to help Lamar and a couple other guys to not recreate that situation and be more prepared if they do get the bye week. So they could come out strong in the divisional round. So I don't know. I love it. I'd love it.
I would love it too. I mean, I feel like he's enjoying retirement, with his kids, and kids are kids. You can't not be away from the kids. But like, I would love it. I would selfishly love it if he were to come back. Like, I'd be all for it if he wanted to come back.
Just for a couple. Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, honestly though, it would be only for a couple of games, because we got
responded to a tweet. And that's what drew the little question from some people on Twitter about that. Ooh, the possibility.
I mean, technically, it would be only for a couple of games. I mean, we got Niners, and he won't be back in time for the Niners. But I mean, we would have Miami, and then we have Steelers, and then postseason. So,
ladies and gentlemen, this is not confirmed at all. By the way,
confirmed. None of this is
I've
just speculation.
Nice little food for thought. Nice little talking point. Just a little what if situation. You know what I mean? Just a little what if. But Justin Houston, like I said earlier, actually is a free agent now. He got released, right?
Him and Jason Pierre-Paul are still free agents.
Most likely candidate if the Ravens were to bring back somebody, just because he hasn't retired yet. But I don't want him. So long story short, I don't think we need it. Pass rush is not a concern. I mean, actually, I do want to say something about the Jags game before we move on about pass rush.
Pass rush was a concern.
Set a light bulb.
Pass rush was a concern in that game.
Pass rush was not existent.
It was
at all.
It wasn't there. It was just not there.
Trevor and the Jags have the 30th ranked pass block win percentage in the NFL. I said that in the pregame live stream, and we did not get to him. We got to him maybe like 2 times.
Nope,
maybe
we got
3.
to him. We got 4 QB hits, 1 sack.
Yeah, so 4 times we got to him. And when I say got to him, I mean pressured him, threw him off his rhythm. Because other than that, he was just standing back there. I mean, like I said, as good as the defense played, a lot of that was just miscues by Jacksonville. Because Trevor had time, and he just either fumbled or just overthrew some passes. And, it just wasn't there. We got to get that pass rush up. We have to. That's got to be better. That hasn't been too good the past 2 games. Now that we actually think about it, the Rams, hardly any pass rush again, and then the Jags, the game after. So these 2 games coming out of the bye have been struggle bugs for the pass rush, and that's not what you want to see. It's a little lethargic, so we need to bring back that pressure that we can get on these quarterbacks and show and remind the NFL why we lead the league in sacks. So we need to get back to that level, especially when we've got the 49ers in 4 days, let alone the playoffs coming up. You got to pressure the quarterback. So I hope this is not a troubling trend. So I am a little bit nervous about that, actually. Yeah, need to see that need to see that get better, and that would just help your secondary out so much. But anyway, I also wanted to talk about the AFC playoff picture and what's going on. Did you have any last comments on the defense or anything we talked about before we move on?
No, but I just will say that the pass rush does have to get better. One sack,
Yep.
I mean, 4 QB hits, that's not really going to get it done. That's not really going to help the secondary out. We saw some big splash plays again, like with the Jaguars. We had like 2 big gains out there that put the Jaguars in position to go down there and try to get a score, even though they always weren't successful. But we have to be able to get it done, especially because these next 3 opponents that we have are gonna make us pay for things like that, because especially the next 2 opponents we have weapons that will make us pay if we do not pressure the quarterback. So pass rush has to improve, and so we're not giving up those big splash plays, because that we do that against Niners, we do that against Miami, we're cooked.
I know we can do it because we were doing it pretty well before the bye.
Yeah, I know we
Sometimes
can do
I
it
just
too.
hate the bye week for this team because it just disrupts their rhythm.
This is why I've had my trepidations about the 1 seed. I've had my trepidations.
You want the 1
about
seed,
the 1 seed,
but in general, the bye week has not
not been
well
in our favor
in the regular season.
It's not been in our favor at all.
But let's see how they do in the next game. Yep. Concerning. But anyway, let's talk about where we stand here on the night of December 21st. Is that tonight? Yeah. Let's look at where we are in the standings. Ravens at the top, number 1 at 11-3. Number 2 is the Miami Dolphins at 10-4. Followed by the Chiefs at 9-5, and last the Jaguars at 8-6, who are in a free fall. There's your first 4 seeds in the AFC. So people right behind them. So I thought of some clinching scenarios for the Ravens to get the 1 seed for the final 3 games, and all they really need to do is win 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. And they will clinch the 1 seed. Why is that? Because Miami. So here's the situation. Sorry, I left out a key point. They need to win 2 out of 3, and the Dolphins need to lose 1 of the next 3. So there's a scenario where we could lose to the we could lose to the Dolphins and still get the 1 seed if the Dolphins take another L in either this Sunday's game against the Cowboys or Week 18 against the Bills, because they've got that extra loss on their resume right now. So if they were to lose 1 more game, that would put them at 5. And then obviously if we win 2 out of our next 3, that means we'd be taking 1 more loss, and that would put us at 4. So that would automatically put us at something at 13-4, and the Dolphins would be at 12-5. So this is a big game. This is a big Sunday, a huge Sunday, because if the Cowboys take down the Dolphins, they already have that 1 loss that they need for us to clinch. Therefore, there's a little bit of margin for error for the Ravens, because then all they have to do is win 2 out of 3. And Kansas City, I'm not even throwing them in the equation right now because they're 9-5. They have 5 losses. So again, if we win 2 out of 3, we'd be at 4 losses, and they could win out and be at 5 losses still, because they're 9-5. So these Miami Dolphins, these little fishies, we need to root for them to get caught in a net and take an L. So that's what we need to do. I did this whole calculation yesterday when I was talking to some people in a party chat. So it's very likely the Ravens can get the 1 seed. They just got to win 2 out of 3. And mind
It
you,
is very, very likely.
after the 49ers game, they're in Baltimore for the last 2 games. So that bodes well. We're at home. We're at the bank. Pittsburgh's struggling, and it's not even a guarantee that they'll have Kenny Pickett for that game. So there's a lot of stuff riding on the line here, Dom. A lot of stuff, and I can't wait. There's more stuff to talk about, but what do you think before we dive into those other matchups? Anything you that you thought of or need to point out about where we stand, what needs to happen?
Well, I know that with the Niners game and the Browns loss, we can clinch the division, which would also be very, very nice.
Very good point. I forgot
so we have to keep that into account as well. Now, what's scaring me is this Miami and Cowboys game. I say that because we saw what the Bills did. They shellacked them. Okay, so I'm not saying the Cowboys are a bad team. Of course, they're not a bad team. They're a top 3 team in the NFC. I mean, that's not really saying too much because a lot of the NFC right now is like 6-7, 5-9.
Philadelphia, that Philadelphia is frauds argument is like at the peak right now. Sorry.
Literally. Philly, we know you're not frauds. But
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, who knows? I don't know. But that Cowboys-Miami game is scaring me because I've seen what the Buffalo Bills did to them. They ran the ball down Dallas's throat. And boy, were they successful. James Cook had a legendary performance. So, mind you, what could A-Chain and Raheem Mostert do against that Cowboys defense? Mm-hmm. I mean, you talk about 2 speedsters in the backfield, probably tear them up at any time. If they Tua might – you know, remember how Josh Allen at the end of that game said, I felt like a kid we got an A on the project. I didn't even do anything. That could be Tua.
He went 7 for 15, 93 yards, and an interception. And a touchdown. I'm
about to say, if you were to throw a pick in that game, I'd be like, Josh, you wanted to throw that just to throw that because there's no way. Yeah. But like, I don't know. So the Cowboys-Miami game does scare me because Miami's definitely not out of that game. Like, Cowboys are supposed to have, like, a really good defense, and they got exposed by Buffalo the other night.
Both of them,
it was bad.
Follow the same narrative, though. They don't beat good teams. They beat all the bad teams, and now they are clashing for this narrative battle of who can beat a good team and who can't. So,
this might be
aside from the Cowboys did beat the Eagles, but Miami, they have not beat a good team this year.
Yeah.
And they even lost to Will Levis and the Titans. So,
I mean,
this is huge.
I mean, their only wins, Chargers, Patriots, Broncos, Giants, Panthers, Patriots, Raiders, Jets, Commanders, Jets. And their L's, they've lost to the Bills, the Eagles, the Chiefs, and that heartbreaker against Tennessee, which was ultimately hilarious, by the way. Like, that game was absolutely hilarious. I'm not a Tennessee fan, but Tennessee, what a win. But yeah, so like I don't know, but that game scares me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't be surprised if there's not too much scoring in this game. I know we're talking about 2 offenses that can put up points. I only say that because with 2 teams that aren't really good against good teams, it might be a battle of who's gonna make that one crucial mistake for the other team to come in there and get the win. Now, I'm not, again, this is just hypothetically speaking. This could end like 40-30 something, and I could be absolutely wrong. But I would not be surprised if this was like a inch it out, I don't know who's going to really score type of situation.
So you're thinking it's going to be like a Steelers game? Who's going to make the first mistake and which team's going to pounce on? Is that what you're saying?
I think so.
They're going to be real conservative in their play calling and waiting for a mistake. Okay.
I think so. This is my estimation. I don't know. Because, again, these are 2 teams that – you know, they haven't really proved – they don't have a great track record against above 500 teams. And, you know, both of these teams are above 500. So, I don't know. I mean, it's at 425. So, I'll be looking at that game as well. Oh, yeah. So, we'll see how that goes. But to me, it's just I wouldn't be surprised if there's not too much score. Like, if the highest points right now were probably about maybe a little over 20, in my opinion. We'll see. Furthermore, let's see, Browns. I've been paying attention
real
to the
quick
Browns.
Before you move on. I'm predicting the Cowboys offense is going to get way back on track. They are not happy about how they performed. against a so-so Bills defense. And Miami's defense, I've already said this, I don't care how well they think they've been playing. They've been playing garbage teams. It's not that good. All right? So I predict a bounce-back game for Dak Prescott and this offense, and I expect them to put up 30 at least on this Miami defense. And I think that this game is going to have an opportunity to be a very high-scoring game being played in Miami. Therefore, the Dolphins are way more comfortable in their home stadium, as you can see in their home record, 7-1 this year. And this could be a 30-30 game in the fourth quarter, or 35-34 type of crazy game, or 2-point conversion game at the end, because people can't stop each other. But I also think that the Cowboys defense is going to try to have a bounce back game as well.
Defense is way better.
And
I would say they're way better than Dolphins.
I don't think that they're going to just let Miami run the ball over and over and over again. I just don't see that happening. I think the Cowboys were taken off guard by the Bills and their rushing attack, so I think they're going to be way more prepared this time. And I expect a bounce back game on both sides of the ball, and the Cowboys really can get this done. They can win this game. I'm still not sold on Miami. Maybe I'm just a biased Ravens fan, but I'm not sold on Miami yet. And
that'd be the
I
one
know
time I'll become
Michael
a Miami
McDaniel's
Dolphins
a
fan.
funny head coach, But this is an opportunity for the Cowboys to restake their claim as a top NFC team, and I think they get it done. I think they can do it. And it's December. Miami doesn't play the best ball in December, so I expect a loss. I expect the Cowboys win. But are they going to? No, or not necessarily. But I do. You can book me on this one. Mark my words. This is going to be a high scoring game. I don't think it's going to be low scoring. If I'm wrong, that'd be crazy. The only way I'm wrong is if Dom's right and they're playing scared and they don't want to make a mistake. So we'll see.
We will see. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't.
That Browns game.
I would not be upset if you are right. Trust me. I'd be a Cowboys fan that whole evening.
I'll make a video and say, "How about them Cowboys if they win?" Because I'll be hyped.
Hey man, we'll see. Now, one team I have been paying attention to: the Cleveland Browns. Now, the Cleveland Browns to end the year. They got Texans this upcoming Sunday. They got Jets the following Thursday. It looks like. And then they have Bengals to close it out for their last game of the season. Now, the Browns team has been kind of riding on some high momentum these past couple of weeks. Handed the Jaguars an L, 31-27 off a Flacco performance. Then they win it on a Darnell Mooney drop off a Hail Mary.
The Bears
against the Chicago Bears.
The Bears are so.
I mean, the Browns are riding on some high momentum right now. They're coming into this game 9-5. Honestly, and I don't want to speak this into existence. Please do not get me wrong. I would not be surprised if the Browns won out to end the year.
Oh, they're on our heels. They could win the division if we slip up.
They're easily right there. I mean, Texans without Tank Dell, C.J. Stroud is waddled. I actually don't think C.J. Stroud is going to be playing in this game.
It's going to be Case Keenum.
So that against that Browns defense, pray for that man. And then you got the Jets, who are just jetsing all over the place. I mean, I don't even know who's going to start in that game. So they're just jetsing all over. I don't even know who's going to start. Is it going to be Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle? Did they cut Tim Boyle?
Yes.
I don't even know.
They did.
Okay, they cut Tim Boyle. So, I mean, at that point, I don't even know who's going to start in that game. And then they got Jake Browning, Week 18.
They could lose that one. Hey, listen.
I don't know.
They're on the road this Sunday, okay? You look at the Browns' record right now. They're 7-1 at home. Okay, how many wins do they have, Dom?
They're 9. They have 9 wins.
Okay, so 7 of those 9 wins, a damn near 70-80% of their wins are at Cleveland Browns Stadium, whatever it's called. First Energy, I don't care. The Dog Pound, which means that they're 2-4 on the road, adding those 2 remaining wins to 9 and those 4 remaining losses to 5. They are a home squad. So that is why I'm giving a chance to the Houston Texans on Sunday, because it's in their home. The Texans has been playing a little bit better recently against some of these teams. And Flacco's going to turn the ball over. He is guaranteed at least 1 pick per game. Guaranteed.
I mean, yeah,
This former
he
Flacco
had
is guaranteed 1 pick per game.
yeah, he had 1 pick in the game against Jacksonville, and I think he had 3.
3 in the Bears
Yep,
game.
3 against
And he had
Chicago.
1 in the Rams game as well, and it ended up being a costly one. Oh, and guess what? Where was that Rams game played, Dom?
The Rams game was, yep, in LA.
Almost like there's a trend. So, Houston,
And his
rally
last,
your home crowd.
when did he take the helm again? When did Flacco take the helm?
On the Rams game. That was his first.
So, okay, so he's played 3 games. Out of his 3 games that he's played, he has thrown 5 interceptions.
Yeah, exactly. And even dating back to his end of the years in Baltimore, he was throwing at least 1 pick per game as well. Well, maybe not exactly, but he was kind of a turnover machine in 2017. 2018, he had a hot start, but then he got banged up. But you all see my point. He wasn't super effective at the end of his Ravens tenure.
That is true.
So, Houston, we don't have a problem. It's at your home. Get it done.
Mind
do
you,
it.
quick note, the 2 out of 3 games to end the season are away games.
Yeah, and
Just
by the way, you also, to your point, the Browns play the Jake Browning and the Bengals, the jungle, another place where Joe Flacco has struggled to win over his career. We all know very well that we have struggled to win games in Cincinnati back in the day when Flacco was our quarterback. We didn't win there often. So that could be a struggle fest for them as well. And let's not say they did beat the Bears at home, but their offense, I know they're all juiced up. People are riding high on the emotion that Flacco came off the couch and is winning games for them. But if you actually look at the raw gameplay or how he went in the fourth quarter, he didn't look good. The Browns were lethargic on offense, and then they got a nice stop, they got a quick turnover on a muff punt, and Flacco threw a pick right back. And the deciding factor was on that ensuing drive, Justin Fields is running for a first down, and somebody touched his knee, and he tripped and fell and didn't get the first down. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but I know if you're a Browns fan.
Catch that play. I didn't catch that play.
I know if you're a Cleveland Browns fan or you're a Chicago Bears fan, you know damn well what I'm talking about. Fourth quarter, first minute, 4th and inches, bootleg, runs, tripped up a half-yard shy. And that, mind you, would have put the Bears up at a 1st and 10 at the Cleveland Browns 30-something yard line. In field goal range, up 17-3. So all they would have had to do is kick the field goal, and they're up by 17. So y'all are lucky to win that, definitely. And let's be honest, that Flacco to Amari Cooper, did you see that one?
I did see that one. That was a dot.
If the corner turns around who's standing by the sideline, that is an interception. That was not a good read. And people are like, what a dot. I mean, that was very risky. If you look at the replay from where Flacco was looking at, the corner was held by another route. I don't know. Maybe I'm playing too much Madden. But I feel like if that's in Madden, that would have been a pick. If the corner would have turned around, he would have jumped the hell out of that.
Hey, listen, man. It was from the point of view from the stream.
There's a defender right on the wide receiver, and then there's a defender on the sideline. And he was looking behind him. If the defender on the sideline turns around, that's a pick, game over. But what a dot.
Takes it. Yeah, Mari takes it. I mean, this Browns team, like I said, they're riding off their success of these past 2 wins. I mean, you could have Flacco throwing picks, but even like we seen here, he threw 3 in the Chicago game, and the defense kept them alive for them to be able to win.
Yep.
So as many mistakes as Flacco can make, which I'm sure that in coming into this Texans game, he's going to want to limit. Now, the Texans are not a defense to sneeze at either, but, with Davis Mills running the helm there,
No, it's going to be Casey Keenum. It's going to be Casey.
Oh, Case Keenum. I'm sorry. Case Keenum.
I like better than I like him better than Davis, by the way. But I'll let you finish before I talk.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to try to discount Case Keenum, but I mean, Browns defense again is nothing to sneeze at. So we'll have to see how that game transpires on Sunday. Now, like we said, this Browns team is right on our heels. We are only 2 games up. So knock on wood, if we were to fall to the Niners here and then go to 11-4, and just so happens that the Browns were to take a dub on Sunday, then they would be 10-5. So, I mean, I wanted us to at least, when we had discussions like weeks ago coming into this 4-game stretch, I said I wanted us to at least be 4-1, 3-1, whatever. We can only really afford one loss. So will this be? I hope it's not, but we are holding on to a very, very, very slim advantage for this 1 seed. We have a lot of matchups to look at and a lot of matchups to even consider before even thinking the 1 seed is a comparable conversation. So there's a lot of stuff to keep track of. We will be keeping track of it, ladies and gentlemen, but there's a lot of stuff to keep track of before we're dancing to the 1 seed.
Those games, Browns and Texans, and then Dolphins and Cowboys are the games I will be watching on Sunday. Those are the 2 that I am circling and trying to watch. I will say this. Flacco throws 3 picks against Houston. They're losing. Marking it now. You can get away with that against Chicago, but you can't get away with that against a team that's trying to make the playoffs 8-6. The Bears are done. And they most likely were done anyway, sitting at 5-8 before losing and dropping to 5-9, let alone. So, yeah, the Browns have some work to do on offense.
Yeah, man.
You're not going to be able to sit there and play like that against good opponents and expect to win.
I didn't even see how tight the AFC South was. It is a 3 teams, 8-6. Oh my goodness! I did not even notice how tight the AFC South was. Jacksonville's at 8-6, Indy's at 8-6, and Houston's at 8-6. Tennessee's done. But man, like, who is going to come out of that division? Like, whew, it's going to be a battle for that one. That's going to be exciting to watch coming down to the end of the year.
Yeah,
every game still matters. Every game still matters. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, man, I agree. I mean, this Texans team is riding on trying to make a playoff with a rookie quarterback. The Texans being relevant since Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins's absence. It's really great to see how C.J. Stroud has brought that franchise back to life. So I know they're going to be trying to ride into the sunset with the division intact. So we'll see how that goes. But Jacksonville's been kind of on a decline. So honestly, that can go either way. But for us, like I said, it's slim out here to maintain this 1 seed position. So hopefully we can. I have faith in us. I really feel like we can do it. I have my trepidations about the 1 seed. We've had private conversations about this. I've told you all this on the stream. I've had my trepidations about the 1 seed. But, I mean, if we can maintain it, if we can grab it and hold on to it, I'm all for it.
All you got to do is
we already
2 out of 3. Doesn't matter how you get the combination, you win 2 out of 3. That's it. As simple as that. And it doesn't matter what anyone else does. Well, except the Dolphins. They got to win. They got to lose 1.
Yeah,
but
because
that's likely they're going to lose 1 because Cowboys, Bills, Ravens are not easy. So win 2 out of 3.
Because I'm anticipating Kansas City's probably going to win out. 9 times out of 10, they will win out the rest of the year because their schedule is lightweight compared to ours and Miami.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, yeah, we will see.
All right. Well, you should.
But yeah. Oh no, I was gonna say, you want to get into it?
Yeah,
the juggernaut in
the room.
A little
bit about this Christmas night game.
Oh my God.
We talked about it already a little bit at the beginning. This offense has got to score a little bit more points than 23 and not cough up opportunities in the red zone against the Niners. It's being played in San Francisco, so they're going to be feeling it. Hosting on Christmas night, it's going to be a battle. The top 2 teams in the NFL, 11-3, in the AFC and the NFC, going at it. Can't wait. So yeah. First thing I want to say, though, I just talked about the offense a little bit, and the defense, they can stop Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, tackle them, make Purdy throw down the field, pressure him, you can win. Because I've said this about Purdy, he throws a lot of checkdowns that get a lot of yak, and his stats are a little bit prettier than it might look like, in my opinion. Hot take. But yeah, the thing that really scares me the most, and I'm very superstitious, is the Ravens announced their threads for Monday night, and it's all white. And I pay attention to the uniforms. I look at their records in the uniforms. The all whites are one of the most abysmal records that the Ravens have. And it sucks when I see them pull those out on Instagram 4 days before the game, and it's a bad omen. I'll give you a few examples to support my argument. Week 5, Pittsburgh, all white, 10 drops. This team just plays like garbage when they wear these uniforms. I don't know why. I don't know why. They lost against the Oakland Raiders week 1 in 2021 in the most unbelievable way possible, and they had their all whites on. Then they played Pittsburgh in Heinz Field, same season, lost in overtime, or lost. That was the game where they decided to go for 2, and Mark Andrews couldn't corral that 2-point conversion.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Was that the flicker?
It was in 2021. I don't know. The flea flicker? Is that what you're saying?
What? I thought it was like a flea flicker play.
It was just a pistol play action on the 2-point conversion. Had a guy wide open in the flat. Lamar overthrew it a little bit because he had T.J. Watt in his face. Couldn't correct.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Let me think. There was another game last year where we had our all whites and we played like garbage. I can't remember it. But point is, this team plays bad with those uniforms. And this goes back to the Flacco days, too. I'm concerned. Don't know why they pulled those out. You should have pulled out the gullet rushes. Why didn't you do that? So, I know, I'm very superstitious. I know, obviously, it just means they don't care what they're wearing when they play football. But as a fan, I look at superstitions, and it concerns me that this is going to be a loss because they're wearing one of the most unsuccessful uniforms in franchise history. But
oh, man. I was hoping that. Oh,
gosh.
Why is this?
I'm sorry.
Why is this team on our schedule? I'm scared.
Did I scare you
reasons why I'm
a bit too?
It's not just the uniforms. I was scared before we even talked about the uniforms we even mentioned in the discussion. I was scared.
Okay.
I'm looking at this Niner squad. Where the hell is the weakness, man? I don't know. I don't know.
Let me help you with that real quick.
I don't know where the weakness
Injury
is.
report. They're missing a lot.
I did see that. You have to see how it plays out for the rest of the week. Not Kinlaw. Eric Armstead, that's his name. Eric Armstead, their big stank in the middle, followed by Javon Hargrave. Their run stoppers did not practice today. So run the ball. We have to see what happens Friday, though. It
doesn't matter, though, Dom. Even if they play, they're going to be hindered. If they're on the injury report, they're injured a little bit. Work them. Tyler Linderbaum, push them back. Kevin Zeitler, push them back. Give it to Gus the Bus. Run the ball. Cardinals got beat bad, but they ran for 236 yards on those 49ers. That is the formula to beating them. Run the ball, play action pass, and we can win. I'm telling you, the most scary thing for me about this game is the damn uniforms. But anyway, go ahead, Dom.
Yeah, I know we say Purdy is a system quarterback. Purdy is benefited from Yak. Trust me. I mean, we've seen the plays happen. We've seen them in fruition. But man, I've seen Purdy throw some Purdy dots, some rock dots out there on the field as well. I've seen him. Yeah, I've seen him throw. I've seen him throw some Brock dots. I've seen him throw on the run, on the move, under pressure. Like, we have to stop putting here's the thing. Here's my one comment about Purdy, right? I'm not a Niners fan, but here's my thing about Purdy. We have to stop getting on this man for being good at his job. What is he supposed to like? Everybody's like, oh my God, he has Debo, he has CMC, he has IU, he has Kittle. Did he sign him? Did he sign him? No, he was drafted 200th overall in the NFL draft. He was literally Mr. Irrelevant. And he's still pulling all this crap off. It's insane. It's insane the run that he's on right now. It's incredible. But back to us. A lot of NFL football, whatever aficionado saying if there's any team in the NFL that is going to match up to this Niner squad, it is us. Now, we heard the talk. We've heard the talk all week. The Ravens are underdogs. The Ravens are 5-point underdogs against the Niners. And we've heard Kyle Hamilton in a presser, was it today or yesterday? I'm not sure, that he said he felt disrespected, that the team felt disrespected, that they were underdogs against this Niners squad. Now, what are we going to do about it is the question. What are we going to do about feeling disrespected? Because we've seen what this Niners squad did against the top contenders in the NFC. Dropped both of them. Just bent them over and spanked them, actually. Like, it was bad. So, now mind you, those are NFC teams. And we've actually handled our business against NFC teams this year. So, can't really say too much about that. But I'm kind of with you on this one. I think our legs is what's going to win us this game. I think, though, in the run game, I would like to see us open up the playbook a little bit more. Let's get a little more creative with these runs, if that's how we're going to win the game. Because, those handoffs to Gus, to Justice, I mean, as much, I'm sure Gordon is probably going to get his carries too, I'm going to guess. But if that is the case, let's get creative. Let's get Lamar in there, because Lamar's torn them up on the ground before. We played him before. Now, I don't know if it's like 2 years ago or something like that, but we played a Niners squad before. Thank you. Like, mind you, this team is much better than we played them a couple of years ago, but and Lamar has had success on the ground against this team. So let's make sure we're keeping Lamar involved in that run game. Let's get Zay. Get Zay on some jet touch passes or something like that. Let's just make sure that if we're going to move the ball, if the pass is not working, and Lamar, it might be under duress, because, again, these edge rushers, Chase Young is just, like, revitalized in this Niners defensive line. Goodness, Commanders, I don't even know why you thought that trade was okay, but I digress. So at that point now, it's like Chase Young on the edge with Nick Bosa. If Hargrave plays, if Armstead plays, with Warner roaming over the field, like, let's get creative in our play calling, more creative than we have been, because I feel like this is the week where we have to just bust the playbook wide open, like getting our receivers involved in the run. If we're gonna get Odell on more slants, okay, that's fine, but be careful in that regard, because we threw that pick last week and it was so let's be careful with that, because this Niners squad, we do too many turnovers, that might be GG's for us as well. I mean, I just want to make sure that we're taking care of the football and making sure that whatever plays we're calling, we don't get what's the word I'm looking for? We're not predictable in our play calling. I mean, it's like the Eagles game. Like we've seen people call the Eagles plays before they even run them. Like they already know what they're going to do. That's why the Niners freaking shellacked them 42-19. Like they already knew what they were going to do before they even did it. So let's make sure we're not as predictable in our play calling. Lamar, please hang on to the football. I'm begging you. Justice Hill, I'm looking right at you. I'm staring at you. You see, look at my eyes. I'm staring right at you. Oh my goodness. No bots handoffs. You hear me? I do not. Y'all better get it tight before this game. Oh my goodness. If I see one dropped handoff, I'm flying to San Fran, and we're gonna have to tussle. We can't afford that. Not in this game. They're already writing us off. We can't write back. Okay, we can't have that. So my thing is, to your point, I think if we're gonna win this game, we have to be successful on the ground. If the Cardinals can run for 230 something on these guys, I don't see why we can't. We're the best running team in football right now. So if we're gonna get it done, if Lamar has to have 150 in the air and like we have like almost damn near 300 on the ground, if it's a win, we'll take it. Because guess what? We'll control the clock. We won't. The more we have the ball, the more CMC and Debo and Ayuk, they can't go out there and explode on us. So we have to make sure we're managing the clock as much as possible, because the 49ers have proved they have the ability to score any way possible. Whether it's Debo coming out of the backfield running, whether it's Debo catching a deep ball, whether it's Ayuk contested catch, whether it's CMC doing what CMC does. I mean, it's insane that I'm just naming 3 out of the 4, because we can't forget about Kittle. Like, we just have to make sure that we're doing everything in our power to get it done, because we're gonna need the football gods on our side, and we're going to win this one.
Real quick before we start winding down for the evening, I want to say that our defense can, and it should, match up with this offense pretty well. If we can stop the run like we know we can pre-bye week, that will take a lot out of them because they are all about Christian McCaffrey. If we can take him out of the game and make Purdy fire down the field, I think that's how you win. Because Purdy hasn't had to do that much. And you asked about, why are people hating Purdy and saying he's not that good? Because if you fast rewind back to when they lost 3 games in a row, they were missing Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel the whole time, and Christian McCaffrey at times throughout. That's why. If a true MVP can rally his squad without the greatest players. And that's, I think, why people are doubting him a little bit. But, yeah, it's not no doubt about it that he's playing really good ball right now. We've got to be ready. We got to take it seriously. But limiting their playmakers, McCaffrey on defense, Deebo Samuel in the run game and the passing game. Tackle Deebo because he's going to get the ball quick. We got to tackle this game. Tackling and pressure is what will win us this football game. Okay? Don't let CMC get rolling, and if he does, tackle him. Don't let a 10-yard game become a 50-yard game. If he's going to get his yards. There's going to be plays where he busts runs, but tackle him, and limit those big plays. And then those 1 yard, 2 yard stops in the backfield will come if you can rally to the football consistently. And if you pressure them, you can get them out of running situations. And then where you can predict what they're doing on offense. So we need sacks this game. Tackle and pressure is what you need to do on defense. And you could be looking at a win on Tuesday, on the 26th. Let's go shot.
See.
Why not us? But I'm telling you, the scariest thing for me, this team could definitely win. But I feel like they're going to play really weird football because of these uniforms, and that's what scares me the most. So I know our game, we could beat them, but the superstitions scare me. Intangible scare me.
We have shocked the world. If we're going to shock the world, why not on Christmas night? Why not shock the world?
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to predict a 30-27 loss just because we're wearing all white. If we were in our color rush, I say we win. But I don't know, man. Break the curse. Feel free to break the curse. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But have to play mistake-free football to beat the 49ers, and I just don't think that's going to happen. I think there's going to be some costly errors, and we'll have to go to work against the Dolphins. But
it just kind of sucks, too, because the Browns and the Bengals beat the Niners during that stretch without CMC and Deebo, and it's like, dang, now we have to face them at, like, full strength, and I'm like, ugh. But it's, yeah, man. I mean, and this is a bold take, you can hear it from here first, folks. If we knock off the Niners on Christmas night, full strength Niners, no excuses, you can't tell me how we're not the best team in football. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't tell me how we're not. Everybody has already painted the Niners as the best team in football because of the miraculous run that they're on right now. If we somehow, some way knock them off, you heard it here first, folks. I'm deeming us the best team in football.
You know what's crazy, though, about that? How we're hyping this up as fans, and not just us specifically, just fans in general, content creators on YouTube, media in the sports shows like ESPN. This is just another game for the Ravens.
It is.
They said the Super Bowl's not played in December. The Super Bowl's played
in February. We're in December.
If they lose this game, they know where to go. They know what's in front of them. They know this. Even if they win, they could win this and lose out. This doesn't define them. So you need to be smart about this. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Get the win and be like, all right, we're done. We just won against the best team in the world. Let's just relax. You need to be focused on the road ahead. So obviously, while this is a huge test and you want to win this game, you got to know where your mind's at and where we're going. So And I think I like where this team's mentality is, because this week Lamar Jackson said it too. That's what Lamar Jackson said. Super Bowl's not played in December. So even though I'm predicting a loss and saying, "Oh, you're just negative," I still think we can still be okay because of how our mindset is as a team, how they're viewing this game. Because a lot of teams would just say, "Hey, we just beat the best team in the world. Now we can coast back. If we can beat them, we can beat anybody." And I don't think that's how the Ravens feel right now. I think the Ravens already know they can beat anybody, and then this game on their schedule is just another game for them, and they bet on themselves 10 times out of 10. So this is nothing different for them, I don't think. Kyle Hamilton said something like that as well. So, I'm just making a prediction here. I just personally don't think they'll win, but sure, they could definitely win this game, 100%. But what I just want them to do is be focused on the bigger picture. Don't let this game define you, who you are, in a good way or a bad way. If you lose, don't let it drag you down. If you win, don't gloat too much, because you've got a lot of stuff down the road. So that's my advice. Don't let it get to your head, positively or negatively.
With that being said, for my score prediction, you know what? I think we shocked the world on a Justin Tucker kick to win it all. I think we win that game 27-24.
Okay.
Fourth quarter, bring Tucker in, end it. I just think he ends it, because why not us? Like you said, why not? I mean, yes, maybe they're on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 game winning streak. Why not us to end the streak? So Ravens go win to San Fran Monday night, Christmas night. If you want to give us a gift, since you don't know all of your fans, you know what you can do. Go in there and shock the freaking world. Why not?
Just play your game. Don't even worry about the fans. Just go in there and take care of business and know what's down the road. Get ready for the playoffs. They are down the road. Take it game by game. Don't let it define you. Don't let it overhype yourself. And this team can go somewhere. I love the mentality of where our squad's at right now. Just all on both sides of the ball. So
if they maintain that, I think we should be just fine. This year. Whew.
These next 3 games are going to be a roller coaster, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going
to
join us.
We're going to be riding along that road. We're going to be riding that roller coaster all the way.
Yep.
All right. But, Gonz, any more thoughts? Any more concluding thoughts before we roll up out of here?
You guys already heard my concluding thoughts. Don't let the game define you, positive or negatively. I just said it for the 3rd time. That's how you do it. Keep your mind forward. Keep your eyes forward. Keep your head up. No matter what happens, you got work to do. Win or loss. Be focused.
I agree.
The Dolphins are right afterwards.
I agree. I think this game is going to be entertaining. I think it's going to have blood pressures over 200. And I'm excited for it. I'll be working from home that day, so I will be able to catch the game in all of its glory. So I'm excited to watch that one. Gonz, I know you'll be watching it. America will be watching it. This will be game of the year, most likely. It has the makings of it. But like Gonz said, stay focused, stay on track. We're already in the playoffs. We're chasing bigger fish. We want the chips with the dip. Shout out to Drake. We want the chip. So stay focused on what you got to do. Win, lose, draw. We still got 2 more games after that. Let's maintain.
Still got work to do.
Exactly.
Loss. Yep.
Exactly. Win, lose, or draw, we still got stuff to take care of. We have a chip to go get. So let's go stay focused on that. But yeah, those are my final thoughts. Most likely, we probably will not be going live for Monday night. Well, I don't know. We'll talk about it because, we'll both be active online anyway. So I better say, we'll both be up. So we'll see. Will there be a late night stream? We will discuss it. But as far as the game's concerned, you definitely will be hearing from us after that game, one way or the other. If not that night, maybe the next day.
Sorry to cut you off real quick. One day we got to stream during the game. We got to go on here during the game and commentate it, because that would just be a lot of fun. But
that would be fun. That would be fun. We got to discuss that down the road too, because that would be a good one. But you will be hearing from us after the Niners-Ravens game on Christmas to get our full thoughts. We will keep you guys updated on when we're going live on that. But either way, guys, we'll see you after Monday Night Football. Hopefully it's a victory Monday. Hopefully it's a victory Tuesday. They'll be able to bring you guys a stream, let you guys know what's going on. Stay tuned for us. We'll keep you guys updated on our IG page to let you know we'll be talking again after the game. I'm Dom. That's Gonz. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Dom and Gonz Sports Talk. We'll catch you. Have a great holiday. Have a great Christmas. Hope you guys get everything you want. Don't forget to leave us a like, share, comment, subscription, all that fancy jazz. Hope you get everything you want under that Christmas tree because you deserve it as great fans
Hopefully
for watching
it
Dom and
brings you
Gonz
what you want.
Sports Talk. Yes, hope your team brings you what you. Hope you get the win. Unfortunately, all y'all aren't going to win, but darn it, I hope they win anyway. Even if you're in, whatever division you're in.
Nope,
Hopefully
not a
your team gets
Miami
what you want.
fan. Nope.
Okay,
nope.
not Miami.
Or
We're
Browns.
excluding Miami. Okay, just two. Just two. Only two. Yeah, everybody else can win. Everybody else can win. Other than that, we're only doing the two teams for the remainder of that. But hope you guys get everything you want for Christmas. Have a great holiday. We will catch you after Christmas or maybe Christmas night to keep you updated. I'm Dom. That's Gonz. We'll catch you next time.
Merry
Signing off.
Christmas, everybody, and a Happy New Year.